Today, we are talking about a subject that has been in the light of mainstream media for a long time, but it's more like an oil well thing right now where everybody thinks you can use it to make a better living and a life for yourself. And this topic is about tech. And we have somebody who is most qualified to handle this topic for us today. Her name is Iniobong Udo. She is the founder of Tech Skills Hack. She's a tech clarity coach. And I have particularly looked forward to, I don't think I really expected that I would have her on interview anytime soon, but it's something I have looked forward to because Iniobong is a very interesting lady. And I am just about to bring her on so she can talk about our topic for today, which is digital and tech skills to learn with minimal investment. She is the best hands we have around here. So welcome, Iniobong. It's so good to have you here, even though you refused to show us your face this morning.
Okay, sorry. With your intro, I've just been blushing since. So thank you very much, Anita, for that beautiful introduction. And this is one thing that I really love doing. For those who follow me online, for those who have heard me speak before, they know talking about take. I'm offering clarity when it comes to take, especially for beginners who want to get into take. It's something that I'm really passionate about. So when I heard about, Winnie, can you come speak to the people at NEF? I was like, oh yeah, this is something that I would love to do. And today I'll be talking about digital and tech skills to learn with minimal investment because I know this is a major concern, especially for Nigerians, where the minimum um salary is like I think 30K, even though I hate they want to increase it. I don't think it's been increased. So for some tech skills, getting into it needs a whole lot of investment, money wise, time wise, and even emotionally wise. But today we just want to look at I'll be talking about some tech skills that I know from experience that you can learn those tech skills or digital skills with minimal money investment. So that's what I'll be doing today. And first on my list, so I just want to say something. Even though we're going to talk about learning with little cash, because you still need money, even when you think, oh, it's going to be minimal investment, you still need money. And another thing that you need is a laptop too. I know some people will be like, oh, you can learn the skills with maybe a phone, but learning with a phone can be very challenging, especially for beginners. Most people just want to try the waters. They just want to come and see, okay, oh, let me just see if this is something for me. And then they come in with their phone. And the first week or the first month, they're excited about learning. And then they get to a point where they're like, oh, I wish I had a laptop. I would have been able to do more. And some of them now get frustrated. They start facing a lot of challenges that if they had a laptop they wouldn't have really had those challenges. So what I tell people most times is invest in getting a laptop, especially for some skills. You would need high range laptops. You would need you can use a mini computer, like maybe if you want to do technical writing, if you want to do content writing, if you want to do digital marketing, you can start with a mini computer that you can get even at 50K second hand, at 50K maybe on GG, or you let me say at most 100,000 now you can get. So just start saving if you want to get into tech, and you know you really want to get passionate about it. Just start saving. Yes, you can start with your computer, maybe as a content person, maybe a content marketer. You can start with your laptop. Maybe learn how to write content, learn how to write compelling content, and how to create visuals using Canva and that you can do with your phone, even though it can be challenging sometimes. But if you're really passionate about it, you can start with your phone. And then when you get to a point that you know, okay, oh, I've been able to save like 50, 100K, you can go into the market and ask, like, oh, you don't need a high spec computer at that moment. So just get a computer, and then it will make your journey more easier and swift, and it will make your journey take one that you really enjoy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ini, for that introduction. You've said, I think we started with we flipped our discussion a bit. So I want to take it back to the
Okay.
beginning. Yeah. So I would like for you to, because our topic, our mainstay today is using minimal investment to get digital and tech skills,
Mm,
right? So you've said that they are, thank God you're the tech guru, because if we're writing a textbook right now, it'd probably be something like tech and digital skills for dummies. People
mhm,
like me who don't know a lot about tech, right? So you're the guru here. So we would like to know, because you've said that there are skills that you can acquire when you're starting up without a laptop, even though with the absence of a computer can be limiting and can be quite frustrating. And even as someone who is not into tech, just doing the basic things with technology, just basic things like maybe typing, research, I know how difficult and frustrating it can be to just do that on my phone. I know how it's difficult when my laptop, I know how it was really tough for me when my laptop developed issues and I had to work with my phone. It can be very, very, very discouraging. But for people who do not have um a large scale investment or
mm.
amount to deposit as investment in their digital and tech skills journey, what are the tech skills and the digital skills that we could learn as beginners without having to have a lot of money piled up? We're passionate about it, we want to go into it, but at the scratch level, what can we do? What are the skills that we can learn with minimal investment? And I would like you to start off by sharing your story, because stories show us that a human being went through the processes that we are calling a challenge today, and it makes it easier to relate. So, if it's okay, you could share your story with us, and then you can answer the question: what digital and tech skills can we get into with minimal investment? And then we can
Okay.
take it from there.
Okay, fine. So let me share my story. So, in 2016, I walked into Start Innovation Hub. For those who are in Uyo, I think a lot of people will know Start Innovation Hub. It's owned by Mr. Hanson Johnson. So that's why I'm ever indebted to him, because I don't think without him I wouldn't be here. So I walked in to Start Innovation Hub, just to go do an internship. I talked to him. I was like, "Oh, please, I just finished my service that year and I got back to you." And I knew there was nothing for me. I read insurance in school and I knew marketing was not my thing. I wouldn't be walking on the street selling coverage, insurance coverage to people. So I spoke to you. I was like, okay, oh, can I come intern at your organization, maybe as a content writer, because I knew I could write. So he was like, okay, no problem, come to the office. So when I got to the office, he now talked me into take. I was like, Kini, I know you're a bright person. And let me make something clear here. I didn't really know how to use it. I didn't know how to use a computer. I don't want to be, oh, I didn't know how to use a computer. My project in school was typed at a business center. So when I got there, he was like, "Oh, you're bright. I've been watching you. I've been following you. You're someone that I know. Okay, oh, if you get into something, you can do it well." So he was like, "At the moment, Google has a lot of offerings for women in tech, um, and that really investing in Africa? Will you love to do Android development? And in my mind, I was like, what is Android development? I didn't really know anything. But one thing that kept me going was like, Ini, the least that can happen or the most that can happen is when you start this thing, the only thing that will happen is that you fail and you continue another thing. So I was like, no problem. Since you believe in me, since you've given me this opportunity, I shouldn't take it for granted. So he was like, oh, we're going to give you a scholarship. We're going to train you for free. So I got the offer and I didn't have a laptop. And I needed a laptop to start because I needed to do programming and I couldn't do it with my phone. So they had this Lenovo. I think maybe that's why I have a thing for Lenovo because my tech journey started with Lenovo. They had this Lenovo at the office that didn't have a battery. It was a plug and play Lenovo. But I was excited about it. It was like, oh, can you guys give me that laptop that is in the office? It was a big gift for me. Even they didn't have a battery, I was going to find money to buy a battery and put inside. But at first, when I started, I used to do the normal, oh, if there's no light, I can't use it. I need to plug it and use when there's light. That's how my journey started. And from there, I learned, I got certified with Google, and that's how my journey started. I didn't start with the right computer. I didn't start with the best computer, but because I had a passion to learn, I think that was what kept me going, and that's why I'm here today. So that's my story. So now for people, your question is about people who don't have a laptop but they are passionate, because you need passion to be in tech. You might have a laptop and you're not passionate and it won't take you anywhere. So there are skills you can learn with your with your smartphone, and then build up till you can get your laptop. So we have skills like technical writing. I know some people who said, oh, they started writing about stuff using their phones, and they were able to publish it and make money with it. We have technical writing, which is a tech skills. We have content writing, which is a digital skills. Um, we have digital marketing, and digital marketing is broad, and you can do that with your phone. Under digital marketing, we have the SEO, that's the search engine optimization profession. We have copywriting, is still under digital marketing. And then we have graphic design too. You can do graphic design thanks to um, Canva, to Pixlab. So you can use those applications on your phone to create a modest design that can sell. So when you have those skills, you know how to do copywriting, then you can get a job. There are people who are looking for organizations who are looking for people to do their copywriting for them. So what is copywriting? It's about selling, writing a compelling content for maybe a brand, for a business. So that's copywriting. So what you need to do, just go to places like YouTube. There are a whole lot of content. I shared a post, I think that was 3 days ago, on how you can start as a beginner. I shared it on my platform on how you can utilize YouTube. So, what do you do if you're using YouTube as a beginner and you want to learn? First of all, you already know what you want to learn. What do you want to learn? Do you want to learn copywriting? Do you want to learn technical writing? Do you want to learn search engine optimization, or just creating compelling content? First of all, go to YouTube and then type, how do I become a good copywriter, or any other thing you want to become or you want to learn. Then from there, you're going to see a lot of content on how to become. And then try to look at the first three contents that you find. Then check them out. You get a lot of information on how to get started. And then when you're through, still on YouTube, check for base tutorials to learn copywriting, or base tutorials on copywriting 2002 2003, because you're looking for the recent tutorials on YouTube. You're going to find tutorials, and when you find those tutorials, the first one, two, three tutorials, go through their what other subscribers are saying about that course. Then when you check the reviews about the tutorial, that's when you know, okay, oh, this is the one for me. And another thing that matters too is that we have a lot of people who maybe their accents might not be one you really understand. So look for words for a tutorial that speak in a way that you can understand, so that you don't have language barrier. There's no language barrier that will deter you from learning. So that's what to do. And then while you're learning, also look for, okay, where can a copywriter work? Because you don't just want to learn a skill and not know where you're going to work once you acquire that skill. So once you do that, you have a lot of information to get you started. And when you start, don't stop learning. And don't be in a haste to start, okay, oh, I just want to learn this in 1 month, I'll start making money. Once you put yourself in that position, it makes learning very hard for you. What you should be telling yourself is, I just want to learn and be good at this. And while you're learning, try to talk about what you're learning. And this is one thing I say to everybody who comes to me, maybe for my paid clarity session or who just comes to me for advice. I tell them, try to talk about what you're doing. Nobody will know what you're doing if you don't talk about it. You have your social media. Your social media platform is not just a place that you go and you joke around or you play around. It's good to have fun, but try to sell your knowledge on your platform. You can do it in a joking way, you can write about it in a story form, but just talk about. I know a lot of people have had lots of opportunities just from sharing what I do on social media. I got to know about Nave, or my connection with Nave came about on social media because I talk about what I do every time. And I know you, Anita, too. Your connection with Nave also came from social media. So we can't undermine the power of social media. Talk about what you do on social media. That people watching, that people reading. That friend of yours online who plays with you, who jokes with you, who you guys just exchange banter. He might be looking for someone, or she might be looking for someone to come work in the organization, or the organization might have an opening for maybe a content writer, a copywriter, a digital marketer. And then if they know that you talk about those stuffs on your platform, the first person they'll reach out to will be you. So do that. And then another beautiful thing with these stuffs is like there are a lot of free um certification, especially for digital marketing, thanks to Google. Even for technical writing, they have free certifications that are known. So this certification, even when it's free, it's accepted worldwide, it's accepted globally. Like the digital marketing certification from Google, it's accepted globally. And then we have another one from Meta, that's from Facebook. It's still digital marketing from Facebook, but it's not free. Even when it's not free, you can get it for free from Coursera. All you need to do, just search on how you can write, how you can apply for financial aid. You find those stuff on YouTube too. So just search on how you can apply for financial aid. Once you apply for financial aid and it's it's been accepted, they'll give you access to those courses and certification for free. So that's what I have to say for now.
Wow, that was a lot. That was that was a lot. That was really, 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 really um detailed. And it's, when you talk to somebody who is passionate about what they do and who they are, it just shows naturally, because they just keep giving. It's like a river. I had a government lecturer, this is on the side, who used to say, out of my belly flows rivers of government. He was so good. He did not need a textbook. He did not need any literature. He could give you the names of all the colonial governors alongside their constitutions, the year they were formed, and when they left power, what each constitution was about, what happened in NNPC. And I was always so amazed because, well, passion is not passive. Passion is very active, and it shows through in you, in your bone. The way you were just dishing off those things at the tips of your fingers, obvious that you're really passionate about this, and it's beautiful. So you said a lot of things. You've talked about your story. You've shared your journey with us, and we really appreciate that. And we would even like to give a shout out to Hanson, Mr. Hanson,
Yeah.
for starting you up on this journey. Sometimes I know I know what I'm saying is mirroring what a lot of people think about you. I just look at you and I'm just really amazed at how far a person can go when they are passionate, when they are sold out to what they do, right? And when they're intentional about their growth. And you are such an inspiration to behold. Okay. You've talked about the skills that you can learn without your phone. You've talked about technical writing, content writing, digital marketing, graphics design. You've talked about YouTube tutorials. I've had a lot of people throw shades at people who want to learn via YouTube, and I laugh every time because it's funny. I'm into public speaking. I'm a spoken word artist and I also train people as well. But my journey did not start with money, like you also mentioned in yours. I didn't start with money. I slept on YouTube. Those nights we used to do um those 200 naira subscriptions. I would sleep on YouTube so I could just download YouTube videos. And I downloaded YouTube videos upon and I learned a lot watching those videos. So yeah, we can actually go far even with free tutorials. We can start up and go far with free tutorials. And I thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. I would like to ask you a question. Please, what is the difference between digital skills and tech skills? Because you said that content writing is a digital skill, and I paid attention to that. You didn't say it's a tech skill. What's the difference? Are they the same thing?
No, they're not. Okay, so digital skills are stuff that you don't really need. Um, sorry, I had to really sit down and explain this because I know there was a time I said that online, and it gained a lot of tractions. People were arguing, and so digital skills are skills that you don't really need a lot of technical trainings like, okay, oh, you need to go for this. It's something that you can just do with your phone. A digital skills can be, okay, how to use a Facebook, how to use Google applications, how to use that's digital skills. Just something you can do with your phone. Maybe how to send an email. It's a digital skills. Like, there are people who make money from just sending emails, from creating emails, sending emails. That's another digital skills that you can look into too. Email writing and the rest. So those are digital skills. Then for tech skills are more like, it's not technological skill, it's technical skills. So these are skills that needs you start as a beginner and then you grow into becoming a professional. So these are skills that really need a lot of technical know how to get started, like cyber security, or you need to know how to use these particular tools. You need to know how to code this, write a certain amount of code, do a lot of stuff. So that's the only way I can explain it now. But for digital skills, it's just knowing how to use digital tools to get what you want to do, like maybe using Google to send out messages, send out emails. And that's why most times they'll tell you, okay, oh, digital marketing. You just need to know, okay, oh, how to write SEO, search engine optimization, just know how to use keywords. So it doesn't really need that technical, okay, oh, you need to set up a particular IDE. What when I say IDE, it's like a development environment to do a particular thing. You don't need those hardcore applications to do it. And you don't also need a particular specification of laptop. It must be at this particular level before you can set up a platform to run it. So that's why most of these skills they say, okay, this one is more technical and this one is just digital skills. So that's the explanation I can give now about that.
Thank you so much. I have
So,
I have learned from that. I needed to know that. I didn't know it as well. And I know a lot of people who are going to be watching this are going to pick from that. So in essence, digital skills are like the ABCs of tech.
Yeah,
while
they
tech
are.
skills may be advanced learners level of tech. So it could be said that before you move on to acquire digital tech skills, technical skills, you need to have digital skills in the first place because
Yes, you
this
do.
is the
Hmm.
foundation, right? Okay,
Yeah, yeah, you do.
that's beautiful. Um, I would like for you to throw more light on. I'd like for you to throw more light on um I'm trying to find a way to frame this, right? So I know that there are lots of opportunities to learn, but I would like for you to throw more light on the learning opportunities that people can find, whether for because remember that our anchor today is minimal investment. Our
Mm-hmm.
target is people who do not have a lot to spend or invest, who are willing, who are passionate, but do not have all that money and all that investment to make, but they want to learn, they want to acquire digital and tech skills. So, would you throw more light on the learning opportunities that people can find so that they can acquire these tech skills and these digital skills with minimal investment? Let's just zone in on the opportunities that are available in the tech community wherever, whether it's Google, Coursera, YouTube. Let's just talk about that, please.
Okay. Okay, so first of all, I want to debunk a myth first before, because if or an ideology that people who believe that they can't get premium knowledge or premium information for free. So if someone has such a mindset, he or she won't be able to get more out of life or out of trainings like this, because I know I've come in contact with a lot of premium information that sometimes I get to weigh them between the paid ones, and I'm like, wow, this is just too much to be free. Like they have a whole lot of content, but because I've benefited from a whole lot of free stuff, like from my Google scholarship, I think my life has really revolved around free things. So I think that's why I don't take for granted any free thing, and that's why I give premium stuff freely too. So first of all, if you want to do that for yourself as a learner, you need to be passionate to learn, and when you're passionate, nobody will be spoon feeding you. You go out, you research on, okay, oh, are there scholarships around? Are you interested in digital marketing? Are you interested in content writing? Like right now, NAIF, even though it's closing today, NAIF has they have a scholarship for digital marketing and video editing. So there are people who will sit up like, it's free. I don't think they'll give out premium content. But for me, that have enjoyed a lot of premium stuff for free, I know they'll give out a lot of people are out there giving things out for free because they've benefited from free things too, or because they're just altruistic, or because they just want to give back to their community. They've enjoyed a lot from their community and they want to give back to them, or because they've seen that, oh, people can't afford this, so I know I'm in a position now to help, so how do I help? So some people take advantage of free stuff, that they misuse it instead of using it well. So first of all, you just need to clear your mind, clear your head about the ideology that free things can be good, or that people can't give out free things, premium things for free. In the tech space, I've seen a lot of scholarships. I know if you're meant to pay for it, you'll be paying like a million naira, like $1,000, which is close to a million naira, just to learn those skills. And they're very dedicated about teaching you, and the contents are premium. So first of all, you need to debunk that mindset of, oh, if something is free, it can't be good. And then number two, you won't be spoon fed. You need to go out and look out for opportunities for yourself. Go to places like LinkedIn, search even on Facebook, that social media that you are on. Search on Twitter too. We have a lot of budding communities on Twitter. So there are always those opportunities, free opportunities around you online in your community that you can take advantage of. So go for those opportunities. And another thing, like I said in the beginning, get your mind off money. Yes, I know why we're in it is because we want to make money. But at first, get your mind off money. What you should be thinking of, okay, being the best. Because another thing that they won't tell you guys, tech is becoming very saturated. It's not only you that want to make plenty money. A lot of people are coming into tech. So if you're not good, nobody's going to notice you. So be good at what you're doing. And then when you start learning, talk about, I won't say try, talk about what you're doing. Talk about it. That's where your money is going to come from. Talk about it. You can't light a lantern and hide it under a bushel and expect people to see it. They won't see it. So talk about what you're doing. Because you might be the best, you might be so good at what you're doing, but nobody knows about it because they've not heard you talk about it. They want to hear it from your mouth. Even when somebody like, oh, this person is good, then they'll come to your platform, they'll go to LinkedIn. They might think, okay, oh, maybe you don't want to write about it on Facebook because that's where you play with everybody. They'll go to your LinkedIn and they won't see you talking about the skill that you have. And they'll be like, ah, we don't trust you. We don't think you're the right person. And then there's another person out there who writes about what he or she does. The person might not be as good as you, but because he or she has been able to convince the prospective employer that, okay, oh yes, I talk about this, which means I'm passionate about it, they'll go with the person that talks about his job than come for you. So that's my advice. That's what I'll advise to anybody who wants to learn with minimal investments. Be your own marketer. Research about free opportunities out there for you, or cheaper opportunities that you won't have to spend so much. And then enroll for those trainings. Go for it. Get a lot of certifications that you can get now. I know they'll say, oh, certifications doesn't really matter. It will give you an edge. So go on places like Coursera, go on places like LinkedIn Learning, go on places like Udemy. You find courses, even free courses. Just go on them, learn, and also get the certifications and add to your portfolio. And then another thing you need to do, yes, that's why I was talking about talking. You need to talk about what you do. It will help it will help you create a portfolio for yourself. So some people would think, oh, they need a website to be able to create a portfolio. You don't need a website most times. All you need to do, you just need to have a Google account and then have a drive. If you're a writer, document everything you write, save them on your drive so that if someone needs your services, you can always send them, okay, this is a link to my drive. You can access what I've written so far. You can access the jobs that I've done so far, and that's going to help you too. And please, before I forget to, or before I end this particular question, I want to talk about offering your services for free. When you start at first, or when you've gained the knowledge, ask your friends and family if they need your services. Or you can just put it online like, oh, I'm offering, maybe you want to write articles for two people. You can do that. Those people will act as your portfolio. That's where your portfolio, your real life portfolio in the market will come. Maybe the other portfolios that you were doing were just paid portfolios that you were doing for yourself. But once you start working for people, nobody's going to ask you, oh, did you do this project for free? They just want to know, okay, you've worked for someone before. So volunteer, do pro bono services, offer your services for free. Maybe your first two services will be free services. And that's when you can now tell people, oh, I do these services. These are the people I've worked for. And nobody will ask you, oh, did you do it for free for them? They just want to know, okay, you did something for someone, the person was satisfied with your work. And when you offer these pro bono services, tell the people that you're offering the pro bono services to that please they should drop a review for you about the job you did for them. It's going to help you too. So I hope this helps someone out there. Thank you.
Okay, yes, of course. That is going to be very helpful for somebody out there, for people out there. I mean, not a tech person, but I have learned a lot. And analyzing the myth that people have about free trainings and services, the myth that it's probably free because it doesn't have value, premium value. Yeah, that is really, really something. And I don't know where we got that from. I haven't wrapped my mind around it yet, where we got that from. But a lot of opportunities abound that are free. And I love how you took out time to explain that This opportunity could be free because the person is altruistic and just wants to give out to the society or give back to the society, or it could just be there because it's already paid for somewhere, it's sponsored, right? So an
Mhm.
organization has probably paid for it because it's important that people acquire these skills. And if you want to pay for it, it's going to be really expensive. And in order to boost the economic value of any community, it's important to learn these skills. So yeah, they can just make it free. And it's important as well that that myth is debunked and you have successfully broken that table. So thank you very much.
You're
And I was
welcome,
going to ask,
Anita.
I was going to ask you a question, but your passion level is quite high, so you went ahead of me and you answered the question yourself already.
It's okay.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about. I was going to ask you, how do you begin to apply, what you have learned, even while you're putting out content to show that you've learned this thing, but you have answered that in the part you talked about offering your services for free, and
Yeah.
you can get recommendations and reviews from there. You've talked about that. So I would just like to ask, I think, one or two more questions before I allow you to say anything else you think would be useful in addition to everything we've talked about. So one of the questions I want to ask is, you have said that we should not focus on the money. I want to get into tech. I'm passionate about it. I want to do tech. I want to possess digital skills and tech skills. But do you advise that, because I mean, you've got to eat, you have to have something to eat. Abby, there's a parent in Nigeria that now they're alive, they go school, or now they're alive, they acquire tech skills. I don't know if you've seen that meme with
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
person handing over his laptop in exchange for a packet of spaghetti, right? So you need to eat. You need to your well-being is something that needs to be in place in order for you to even be able to acquire the skills that you need. So do you advise for one? Because now we are saying you need passion, and you're passionate, you're not going to be spoon-fed. And what that also means is that you need to throw yourself all into this. So I'm not earning yet from tech. I'm passionate, I'm learning, putting in the hours, I'm beginning to do free services, pro bono services, and I'm getting reviews and I'm building my portfolio. But in the meantime, I'm hungry. I need to eat. Do you advise that I have a side hustle? Do you advise that as I'm learning this tech skill, I already have something that's giving me money, or there's something that can provide my basic needs before tech begins to lay my eggs, my golden eggs, because it's my golden goose right now, but it's not laying my eggs yet. So do you advise that I have something on the side that is feeding me while I am invested in tech?
Okay, so the question you're asking now is something I also shared on my platform. I think that was day before yesterday about you shouldn't leave whatever you're doing right now because you want to chase a passion in tech, or you want to chase a digital skills. If you have something you're doing, maybe a fashion designer, maybe you're working in a school and it's providing the money right now for you, please and please hold on to it. And it's not going to be easy combining both your work and learning a tech skills, but I'll just say you should do it if you can do it instead of leaving your job just to chase a passion. Except maybe you have family and friends who not just telling you, they've set aside money like, okay, oh, this 1 million is for you to take and hold your body and soul together while you're learning a skill. And I don't know how many people are opportune to have such an opportunity. So my advice to you will be, please hold on to whatsoever you're doing right now that is giving you that urgent 2K that you can use to buy internet, that you can use to subscribe, pay your this thing, pay for your electricity. Just hold on to that stuff that gives you your urgent 2K right now while you're waiting to start making your urgent 1000K from tech or from the digital skills you're learning. Please and please don't leave it. Just look for a way to match what you're doing and the skill you're learning and the tech skill you're learning. I know it's not going to be a walk in the park, and this is what I keep telling people. It won't be a walk in the park, but it's going to be worth it once you have the skill and you start making money from it, or once you have a job from your new tech skills.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Um, yeah, thank you so much. You've done justice to that question. You really have. And I that's why I began by asking you to share your story, because I know that people who do not have stories, people who it's like showing up as a professional one day. It's similar to what you shared. Nobody knows that you've been taking training. Nobody knows that you have been undergoing training in this thing. And one day you just show up and you're like, oh yes, now I'm a professional digital marketer. And everybody's like, okay, where did that come out from? Because nobody has seen your process, right? But you have process, you have your story, and you can tell us that, look, this is how I started. And it's easy to relate to that because it's real. It's you, it's your story. You do not, you're not, you're not just a motivational speaker without stories. You are an inspirational speaker, because there's a difference between both of them. Motivational speakers share the stories of other people. Inspirational speakers share their own stories to inspire people, and you have your own story to inspire us. Now, you said something profound, something people do not say, like you said, rightly said. People will not tell you that the tech market is getting saturated. And I don't think I've really heard that before, but it takes another level of thinking, like, okay, I want to go into tech. It takes intentionality to actually pause and say, okay, this is an oil well. Everybody wants to do tech. So what that means is that the tech market is getting saturated. What that means is that I need to be cutting edge good at what I do before I land opportunities, before I land jobs, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you've talked about this. And that brings me to my next question, which I believe is going to probably be my last question. Um, People move a lot in groups. This what we always refer to as the bandwagon spirit or the herd mentality, where you see your neighbor doing something, or you see this is the trendy, people just follow trends a lot, basically. I don't know if it's a
Mm-hmm.
natural thing. I don't know if it's a social construct thing where we have been wired societally to be that way, but people tend to follow trends a lot. And too often we do not have people who pause and say, this is not my area of strength. Because I believe that getting into tech requires some. Aha, I have another question for you. Okay, so getting into tech requires passion, but there are also underlying skills, underlying traits a person would need to possess, and you will throw more light on that later after this question, right? So, knowing fully well that I have strengths, I have weaknesses, right? And maybe because of the kind of person that I am, I may love to try something new like tech, but I may not be able to sustain or have the stamina to see it through because of the kind of person that I am. So, my question is, how do you decide if tech is for you? I mean, you don't just want to jump in because everybody's doing it and there's money in it, no kidding. But how do you decide that tech is for you? For you, your story is that you have always been someone who wanted to grow and you were willing to embrace a new opportunity, and you had somebody who believed in you and saw that if you had the potential, that if you put in the work and you put in the hours, that you would make something beautiful out of it. And you've proven them right. You are making something beautiful out of your experience and your journey. But for other people, the story may not quite be the same. So how do I know that tech is for me? How do I know that I can get into these? I mean, there are no absolutes and no guarantees, but there should be telltale signs and pointers to show that this thing is for me and this thing may not quite be my fit. So Could you just talk about that? Thank you.
Okay, so if you're someone who lacks focus, um and you're not really intentional about things. Okay, today you want to do this, tomorrow you want to do that, tomorrow you want to do and maybe you're looking for the get rich quick scheme. Please and please, so that you don't break your heart, avoid take um it's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's something that is going to sustain you once you get it. But it's not going to come so quick like that. So it's not something you're going to learn in a month. And then some people might be lucky, but it doesn't work for everybody. And also, you need focus. You need a higher amount of dedication to thrive in tech. Like I said before, the space is becoming very populated, and you need to be good to be noticed. So if you know being good or being staying committed on a course is not your thing, please keep doing what you're doing and leave take alone. And sometimes another thing is that you might not need take is for you or not for you. You just need to try. And if you try and you try and you try and you're like, this thing is not for me, oh, you self, you don't try, just give up, move on to the next thing. There are a lot of opportunities out there. It mustn't revolve around take. But the beautiful thing with take or digital skills is that even when you're doing other things with your life, you can still sync take into it or digital skills into it. Maybe you might now tell yourself, oh, I think fashion design is it for me. And then you go into fashion design, just learn how to use certain digital skills to scale your business, because the world that is now a digital community. So just learn, okay, so how can I utilize Facebook? How can I utilize Instagram? How can I utilize LinkedIn? Those are still digital skills. So learn how to utilize those tools, social media tools, to scale your business. Even when you know, okay, oh, I've tried tech, I've tried this, it's not working for me. I've tried digital marketing as digital marketing alone, it's not working for me. Then you can go back to your fashion design, you can go back to, maybe you like creating shoes, you like designing, you're a spoken word artist. You can go back to that. Maybe doing that and then syncing it with digital skills will really, really help you. There are a lot of people who are doing a lot of that, doing well in the as um in digital marketing, and they didn't even know they're doing digital marketing, because their main focus is on the other stuff that is not digital enough. But they're selling very well. They know how to make the right content on social media, how to position themselves, how to use the right keywords, how to use the right tags. And that's digital marketing. That's a part of digital marketing too. So you can go back and do the normal traditional stuff you've been doing. You can do your, if it's medicine you learn, there's no harm. Just go back, do what you've been doing, but just learn how to sync tech and digital skills into it. It's going to really help you scale. So that's my advice to today to anyone who feels like, oh, maybe tech is not for me. You're not you're not less, you're not lesser, or your worth is not less than someone who is in tech. The main thing is you just need to do something in life to make you important. Something you need to do something valuable with your life. That's what really matters. So being in tech and not being in tech doesn't make you lesser or make you more important than any other person. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you so much. That's a lot of information merged in one. And you have actually answered the question I wanted to ask, because now you've talked about the underlying skills that a person needs to possess before they think of going into tech. So, like you said, nothing is written into stone, but you need
Yeah.
focus, you need stamina, you need patience, you need staying power, you need a high amount of dedication, and you need to put in the work. And if you're someone that you're a jumpy person, because some of us are great starters, we like to do new things.
New things.
We
Yeah.
are excited about doing something new. But after a while, that feeling that led you into starting that thing is not there anymore. And
It's
you're
all there.
easily bored. Another thing, you're easily bored, and then you cannot stay. So you don't leave it alone. Then you also talked about um, the fact that you can also know by trying. And there's a
Yeah.
saying that you never know if you never try. If you never try, you never know. So you can also find out if it's for you by trying, because life is always open to adventure. Life itself is an adventure, and there's some things you never find out unless you take the trip, unless you make the trip. And I love how you put that. And lastly, you also buttressed on the point that just because you're not in tech doesn't mean that you're lesser. Because we have a very people can be very emotional, and people can be very jumpy when it comes to making conclusions. So just because something is trending, something is beautiful, something is it's giving result, it's giving, like they would say. It's easy to make it look like it's easy to camp around it and make it look like it's the best thing after which bread do I use now? It's the best thing after some soup, right? So it's easy to fall into that trap and forget that before this thing became a trend, there were things that were and are still very prolific, things that are very rewarding to do. Rewarding both in terms of a sense of fulfillment and the money it brings. So yeah, nobody is lesser, whether you're in tech or you're not in tech. You are important. The work that you do is important. The other day, I was thinking to myself that imagine a world where we do not have commuters, keke drivers, for instance. Imagine how difficult it would be to go out or to move around or to do the things we need to do. So nobody's work is lesser than any other person's work. It's about the attitude you bring into the work and understanding and realizing that people need me to be here to do this work. Otherwise, the ecosystem will suffer if I'm not in it. And you ended that very beautifully. So I'd just like to leave the floor open for you. If you have anything, do you think there's anything you would like to just give out as somebody who has been on this journey, and you have encountered a lot of people who want to be on this journey as well, but is this something you think they should know that you would just want to come from your heart free of charge to them?
Okay. So this is what I want everyone who wants to get into tech to know. Tech is not a walk in the park. One. Hmm. Getting started and getting rooted in tech is not a walk in the park. Yeah, I know we're talking about minimal investments. You might not spend money, but you spend your time. So if you don't have your time to spend, you might not get optimal results in tech. And another thing that I would love to see is in tech, you also need a community. So look for a community and join. It can be a dedicated community to a particular skill you want to learn. You can find that in your city. Those are what we call the meetups. Look around, you'll find that. I know we have a lot of meetups in Lagos. We do same. In Port Harcourt, I think we do same too. In Abuja, I think they have physical meetups too for certain professionals and for general tech communities. And then another thing on social media too, on Facebook, LinkedIn, I don't think if Instagram and Twitter if they have the group feature, because the group feature is what we call the community. You'll find certain groups that you can join and grow and connect with people in your field of interest. So join the community. And from joining a community or joining meetups, try to get an accountability partner. You need someone to keep you on track, because sometimes you might not be so motivated like you were when you first started. So you need someone to always remind you, like, oh, this is why you started what you started. Um, and while you're learning, work on a project. You don't just want to read. So tech is hands on. So you need to have a project that you can show for what you're doing or for your particular tech skills. So work on projects, have a portfolio. Your project to sum up the sum up of your project. That's what will become your portfolio. So do that. And another thing, give back to the community. Give back while you learn. Try to teach other people. So there's something that people don't know. Teaching is the best way to learn. So what teaching does for you is that it helps you to be on your feet, because you're going to be giving back knowledge, and there are people who want to research and know, okay, oh, what he or she just said, is it right, is it true? So teaching is the best way to learn. And also another thing that it does for you is that it it gives you visibility. So offer it can be a free training, maybe once a week for like maybe a month. Do that. That will also act as your portfolio too. So train, and please don't be in a haste to give up on tech. If you had 3 months in mind, okay, oh, once I learn this skill in 3 months, I should be able to start making money. Don't give up on tech. It might take you another 6 months or 1 year for you to start making that big money that you're looking for. So don't be in a haste to give up on tech because the money you've been waiting for has not come. And another thing is that don't give up on whatsoever you're doing right now just to chase um tech completely if you don't have a source of income that will sustain you while you're chasing your tech dream. And another advice I'm going to give to you is please try to connect with other people. You don't know where the recommendation for your first job is going to come from. Connect with other people in your field and outside of your field. Try to leave your computer screen and connect with people. So I think that's what I can say for now. That's my advice right now. And I wish you guys all the best as you keep chasing your tech and your digital skills dream. It can only get better if you don't give up. So keep moving, keep doing what you can do, and your aim should be you being the best in whatever field you find yourself doing. So thank you very much. Thank you guys for joining my session or for listening to me. Thank you. And thank you very much, Anita. Thank you for being such an amazing host. And to the
Thank you.
NAVE community, thank you very much for this. Thank you. It's been a privilege working for you guys, having this session. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Iniobong. It's been an absolute pleasure having you here. It's been very informative, very educative, and it's just been easy to talk with you because, well, you're passionate, you're easy to talk to, and you love to share. That's I know about you. You love to share, and there was no holding back. I did not feel any holding back. I didn't need to elicit so much of responses from you. They just kept coming. And for that, we are grateful. So thank you for coming on board and thank you for sharing so much for us. Premium value for free, like you said.
You're
Um,
welcome, Anita.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. So, guys, we have come to the end of the session for today. Our topic, remember, was digital and tech skills to learn with minimal investment. We've talked about a lot of things, so you need to watch this from the beginning to learn better, to stick what you have learned and make it stamp in your head or in your heart, apparently. So we've talked about the difference between tech skills and digital skills. We've talked about the myths that we need to debunk in order to make our tech journey more fulfilling and more rewarding. We've talked about the importance of not abandoning what is feeding you while you're trying to acquire tech skills. And you would do yourself a world of good to have to look out for opportunities as well. Our guest has talked about a lot of opportunities that abound, that we can acquire tech skills for free. She's offered a lot. So I recommend that you go back and you watch this from the beginning to the end and take notes. I have taken a lot of notes. You don't want to see my notepad, it's filled. Thank you so much for joining us on this session today. And I will see you next session.